Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ivor Dent Sports Complex here in Edmonton, Alberta, at the 2019 Canadian Ultimate Championships. We are here on the VC Showcase Field to bring you Women's Division quarterfinal presented to you by VC between Ottawa's Stella and Vancouver's Sneaky House Hippos. I'm joined here with Joel Bellavance. I'm Clayton Howlett. We just called our last round. It was a quarterfinal matchup between Edmonton's AFC, Alberta Flatball Club, and Ottawa's Phoenix. And AFC pulling out the big universe win on that game, getting a little revenge from the last year when those two teams faced it against each other. In the open final. Phoenix coming out on top on that one. So here we're going to have a pretty exciting match. Stella has been having a pretty great tournament, winning some games, losing some games, but always in contention. Not the victims of any blowout so far. Hippos featuring some strong women that have come up through the ranks in Vancouver, played in other places. Also, some former traffic players. They're coached by Tasha, who's a former World Games player. So I think this is going to be a pretty fun matchup to watch today.
Yeah, really excited to see these two teams battle here. Lots of great athletes on the field. Tasia was also a coach for World Games in 2017 in Poland. And, both these teams battling through the bracket. Stella has only lost one game to Sixers. They had a close game yesterday in the wind, losing 9-7. And Hippos lost to Traffic and Iris yesterday, but have earned their spot in this quarterfinal, and this should be an exciting matchup here.
G's pull is fielded by Tam, who flips it up to Ben Krasnick. And her throw to number 9, Zhu, is a little low, but Zhu making the athletic play there. G arguing, hey, was that down? Observer ruling the disc was up, so good play by Zhu there.
Yeah, fantastic catch, good focus.
Players just going to return to where they were on the field after they were moving after the call was made. Seems like we're set. Here we go. Cantel taps that in. Zhu, backhand around to Wang. Wang looking for options. No cutters right away. She finds Madden Krasnick. We have another call. I didn't see a signal. The player's wondering what's going on. Looked like it was between some cutters upfield there, but they've worked it out. Wang. Was looking for Zhu there, but Zhu had pulled up on her cut as Madden Krasnick let that go. So Stella with the run through D. Stella working it up, just knocking on the doorstep. And Jaffrey, captain of Stella, finds number 6, Spirit captain Samantha Green. And Stella starts that game off with a break.
Yeah, great start by Stella. I really like they seem to move over a few players that were familiar with seeing them on their offensive line in the last streamed game against Fusion, which Stella won on Universe Point after a great catch by Cantel. And this Stella defensive line, some few notable faces from their O-line sort of moving over and able to cash in a nice break to start the game.
So I'd just like to make note that so far in the broadcast this week and throughout the junior divisions and up till now, we've been committed to having players in this division commentating on these games. But the women that would be featured on this stream, thanks to the way the tournament has shaken down, are all unavailable and playing right now in their own bracket play. So you get to have Joel and I once again on the stream.
Yeah, definitely happy to be here and do some commentary and Yeah, just excited to see some more great ultimate. Real big day here at the Canadian Ultimate Championships. Saturday this is quarterfinals and semifinals day.
So Janelle Savoie picks up to Mir. Mir looking for options. And her throw to Camille Alvarez is just out of her reach. Bounces off Alvarez's hand. So Isabelle Bedard is going to pick up the disc. Back to that orange pylon, marking where the disc went out of bounds, thrown by the observer. Bedard looking for options. She found Cassandra Jaffrey, bobbled off her hands, but Jaffrey with the great second effort to keep that alive. Jaffrey puts up a flick hook, a little too low. And Hippos got their hands on it, but a great second effort by Green. But her throw is just too far. Tam finds Mir. Mir on the sideline now. Centers to Proby. Probes looking for options. Probes for options. Savoie lets the big backhand go. Tam going deep. And a great read. The wind keeping that sort of lofty. Tam's able to run onto that. Goal Hippos. We are now tied at ones. So that's a good hold for Hippos, a good response after getting broken on that first point.
Yeah, what a great throw from Siwa. Janelle Siwa finding her receiver open deep and just putting that nice and out in front of her receiver for an easy run on goal. Another nice offensive hold here, and yeah, nice point by Hippos.
Just out to the stream here, Kobe Kreller. This is not the Fusion game, but what I can tell you is I can turn around right now, and the traffic Fusion game is just happening behind us. Currently the score is 1-0, but I can't see for who. So they've just gotten started, so I will give you updates, or we will give you updates as we turn around.
Yeah, it looks like it's 1-0 traffic right now.
And we'll keep an eye on that. Do you have the other bracket, or the other two playoffs as well on there?
Doesn't look like the scores have come up yet for the other women's quarterfinals, but we'll be keeping tabs on that as the scores come in.
G to Fortin. She lets loose a big flick huck. And Proby getting up.
Yeah, nice heads-up defensive play from Proby, leaving her check to help out, and Kaylee Sparks just in a tough position there with double coverage.
Proby, a big member in the Victoria Ultimate community, ran the show with a few others with the UVic Vixens. Then she moved. Terrible decision. Proby moves out. There's a call.
Looks like Cantel called travel there. Maybe a bit of rounding after the catch.
So Proby elects to stick with Wang. Wang now finds Law. Quick underneath cut. Law finds Wang with the scoop cut, but Wang's throw is too short for Proby. And Stella number
10, that was Win G.
I believe that was number 16 actually. Cantal.
Oh, sorry, Cantel with the
yeah,
deep.
brought that down, yeah.
Win picking up.
Yeah. G, high stall count, lets up a big backhand to a wide open number 33, Emily Scott, and patiently waits for Kaylee Sparks to make a good cut, get wide open, and Emily Scott, not having a mark right away, was easily able to put that out to space for Sparks. So 2-1 Stella. Traffic just pulled to Fusion. And the score is 2-0 in that game. Fusion on offense at their brick mark. The wind here has been much, much, much calmer compared to yesterday. It's still here, averaging about 10 kilometers an hour, but it's not dictating our games right now. Instead, it is just playing a factor sometimes in pushing throws down towards the ground or making the disc kind of drift out of bounds. The wind is currently at our backs and flowing from the close to the far side of the field, and typically a little bit left to the right. But most of these teams we're seeing having no problem with it. Just sometimes it just generates a few smaller turnovers. Wunderlich finds J. Bell in the middle on this Stella zone, but they generate that turnover as J. Bell tries to punch that through the zone, and Stella's there to block it. Bedard has Green. Oh, and a great bid there by Jaffrey as Stella was able to work that around, and Dagenet's pass is just a little too far away. Stella goes right back into the zone here. Hippos looking for options, and wow, number 24, Rachel Ing, just psychically reads that about to happen and gets the big hand up. Jaffrey. And a pick call out of the vertical stack offense.
Yeah, Stella just a few feet away here from their first break opportunity of the game. Or sorry, this would be their second break opportunity.
Jaffrey puts it up. And great pressure by number 18, Kelly Wunderlich from Hippos there. Probably a completed pass if she's not in the area, but she makes her defender go, or her check go early. Stella back into the zone set. Effective so far. Hippos goes over top. Traffic. And that traffic generates a turnover once again. Lisa Hogel with the D, I believe. Bedard. And there's a pick call out of the vertical stack. We often see in every division, anywhere you play, vertical stack offense is always prone to pick calls. Bedard looking for Green, and Green with the scoop cut. And that's another break for Stella.
Yeah, Stella utilizing their zone defense, getting two blocks just in the wall there. And Hippos are going to want to just sort of focus in and make sure they can adjust to that zone defense on this next point if Stella elects to use their zone again. And Stella off to a nice start here, taking a 3-1 lead, up 2 breaks. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. We just want to say thank you to our funding partners, Explore Edmonton, a partnership between the City of Edmonton and Edmonton Tourism and the Government of Alberta. Thank you to our official nutrition partner as well, Cliff Bar. And thanks to Discraft, the official disc of Ultimate Canada. And, Sorry, just wanted to say a shout out to all of our volunteers and observers. Tough conditions for players and also for volunteers yesterday, and really excited for all the action today.
If you're just joining us, this is the quarterfinal matchup in the women's division between the 5th and 6th seeded teams. Stella being seeded 5th, Hippos being seeded 6th. Wang having a time picking that one up. Proby gets it back and flips it out of the end zone to Tam. Back to Proby. Proby very comfortable as a handler on offense in a zone, in my experience when I played mixed with her. Proby able to just keep that disc moving. Exactly what Hippos need right now. Oh, great rundown by Wang there to keep that errant pass alive. Zhu has Mir. Mir now looking for the around. Instead dumps to Wang, but that pass a little too far off to the right and in front of Wang for her to be able to make a catch. G, once again, just ripping the backhand. Just a little too far for Vivian Fortin. Proby. Cantel just a little bit short of that layout D. Wang. Finds Tam. And the travel called by number 92, Fortin. Mir. The undercut. Another travel called. This time by number 77, Jessica Stockbrugger.
Yeah, Stella just making, I think that's our third or fourth travel call, all sort of the same thing. They are interpreting that Hippos are sort of rounding out their cuts, so they're catching the disc and sort of taking one extra step in a little bit of a different direction than the direction they caught the disc. So just totally fine to make those calls.
So Mir's a round pass.
Wow.
Doesn't hit its intended target, but Julia Zhu, big layout grab to keep that alive. Proby now. It's Ewan. And another travel call. It seems that Stella really wants to bust Hippos on rounding that corner. And our observer crew just discussing. Who did that go to?
I believe he gave that blue card to Hippos. It's hard to tell exactly who he was directing the card to, but
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. I guess if the 4 or 5 travels in a row, it's
just Tam making an attempt on that disc. Had to go over top of her feet there, and as she was coming over, just wasn't able to keep her hand on that disc. G centers to Fortin. Ooh, and a great juke by Stockbrugger. Stockbrugger to Keenan. Keenan airs it out for G. And that pass is a little too far, and with any Wang in the area, she's able to ensure that neither Stella player had an easy play on that disc, generates a turnover.
Yeah, sort of a dangerous moment there when G was looking to lay out for that disc and sort of noticed that Wang was already in position to get the D and elected not to.
Looking for options. Has Tam. Tam wanting the unders. Gets the around flick to Zhu. Alvarez to Proby. Great grab. And Proby puts that out in front of G, but G makes up the distance and just rejects what looked like for a second a go-ahead goal to Emily Ewan.
Yeah, nice defensive play from G. She was sort of watching Proby, almost tempting her to try to fit that one in, and was able to close the gap and get a nice piece of the disc, forcing it out of bounds. And it looks like Stella's going to take a timeout here, looking at another opportunity to break and take a 4-1 lead on the game.
Gee, that was good defense. I'm here all day, folks. So we got a bit of a crowd watching this game. Some teams on their breaks now in their bracket play. Currently in the Traffic Fusion game, the score is 3-2, and Traffic just dropped a pull.
Yeah, Fusion leading 3-2 with another chance to break here.
Fusion break. So that quarterfinal now. No, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-2 now for Fusion leading
Fusion,
traffic.
Yeah, I was going to say the opposite, but yeah, Fusion leading traffic 4-2. For those wondering, there's a little bit of interesting situation in the Open Masters division. Carbon was looking like a very quick team all week. I mean, they still are, and they played the Saskatoon Queen City Kings and were totally in control of that game, but it seems Queen City Kings have shattered the dreams of Carbon, beating them in their bracket play. So, Stella often set up in a horizontal. G with the disc. You in on her.
Yeah, really isolating Cantel and Kaylee Sparks in space here.
Sparks just takes off. Cantel. Nealon airs that out for Sparks. And those ones over the head are tough to get a good read on. You got to keep that speed going, but you're just turning your head back and forth. And you let up the speed a little bit to do that. It can be hard to make a play. So Zhu taps it in. Has Mir going. And flick break to Mir. Flips it to Wang. Tries to air it out, but that's blocked. Nealon now. She puts it out for Sparks. Sparks looking like she's going to be a deadly receiver in this game.
Yeah, once again, Kaylee Sparks using her speed to find separation and get away from her defender, and she's been such a great asset for the Stella offense. And Stella taking a commanding lead here, 4-1 in the game. Hippos will need to regroup and try to find some offensive flow here. Yeah, an exciting day of Ultimate ahead of us. We'll be streaming the Masters Open final later in the day, followed by the Women's Masters final. Women's Masters are currently in their semis.
There will be a break between this broadcast and the Open Masters final, which precedes the Women's Masters. I believe that broadcast starts at 10 after 2 in Edmonton time. Bedard's Bowl landing at about the brick mark. Siwa, after a few dishes, just airs out an IO backhand for number 10, Lauren Law. But as we've seen on this field today, this wind, while it is not dictating the games, is causing discs definitely on this right side of the field to sail just a bit too far, especially with that IO edge on the backhand. Oh, great catch by 28, Brittany Cook, elevating. And her throw off a few hands. Lisa Hogel is in the area to pick it up. Bedard airs out a backhand for number 99, Justine Dagenet. She brings that down early, not letting her defender contest that. The score, 5-1 Stella, and Hippos calling a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Tasia Balding there, sensing a good time to call timeout, sort of regroup her team here. And Stella, what a fantastic throw. Nice throw into space. And Stella just looks so comfortable, so confident with their throwing right now. And they've just been having a really great tournament, and they're continuing their good play in quarterfinals.
Just behind us, Fusion currently on offense, leading the game 4-3 over Traffic.
A nice D from Khalifa's Mott there. Traffic with the disc, down 4-3.
But just out of the reach is Zelmont. Fusion back on 0. Stream, you'll have to tell us if that's useful information or not when you can't see it. I have no idea. So, the weather here today, like I say, that wind a bit calmer, but it is cold. I don't think Edmonton likes summer. You know, we're sitting in six-degree weather when we began our broadcast today. My phone tells me it's August. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah, we've seen a few players wearing toques and fleece and gloves. I'm not sure how they knew to pack that sort of gear, but definitely needed in these conditions. And kind of a tough transition for some players too. Like being cold on the sidelines and then having to come in and play is pretty tough. So some players, wearing long sleeves, leggings, or on the sidelines are really trying to stay warm. And important point here for Hippos. You can't afford to let this game slip too much further out of reach. Only down 4, so it'd be nice for them to get an offensive hold here and get back on track. Really nice pull from Wynn.
Tam puts it out to Zhu. Zhu's going to wind up and put it out to space for Camille Alvarez. Bidding just out of her reach. So G's going to pick that up. G, we've seen picking up the disc and just not afraid at all to air this out deep right away. I'm still not calling it right. All right. So Stella works that up. And number 92, Fontaine, is not able to reel in that huck, which, again, that wind making it sail from Jessica Stockbrugger. But Hippos with an immediate turnover. G's going to walk over to the disc, take her time so that Stella can set up a red zone offense here. Looks like they're setting up in a vertical stack. Stockbrugger goes immediately up the line. Cantel comes off the stack, gets the around flick from G. G trying to juke, but instead it's number 92, Vivienne Fontaine.
Yeah, Fontaine is coming off the back of the stack there, catching her defender unaware. Able to get the nice, easy, open side goal for another Stella break. That's going to put them ahead 5 goals now. And, great effort from Hippos. Really like the look there by Zhu, and just a bit too far for Camille. But Hippos definitely not out of this.
No, it's early. This game began at 10:30. We're only 27 minutes into the game. I have definitely been in Stella's position before when I've been playing and then lost. So we know, and as many of you that play Ultimate know that, a 6-1 deficit is difficult but not impossible. And sometimes you've been on the winning or losing end of that. So let's see if Hippos can get it back together here. They've got lots of time to get back into it. But Stella looking, I would say, faster right now, Joel. I just feel that Stella just has the legs more than Hippos right now.
Yeah, they definitely have some energy, and then they have some confidence with the disc that we haven't really seen from Hippos yet. And I think Stella's quietly put together a really strong tournament, only losing to Sixers by 3 goals yesterday in the windy conditions, 2 goals. But definitely Hippos can still battle here. And I think we haven't seen Hippos play to the level that they can.
So Al to Wonderlick, back to Al. Swings it around to Madden Krasnick. Excuse me. Stella with this zone look. Seems to have been effective so far. Esther Au over to Wonderluck. So the handlers here showing some sort of textbook technique against the zone. Just keep that disc moving, keep the cup moving. Stella melts to person defense. Amy Luo looking for options. And she sticks with Madden Krasnick, who finds her back. And Amy Luo is pumped. Kind of ticking over there in the red zone. Wanted that goal, wanted to get her team back into this.
Yeah, Amy Luo with the spike there, just trying to pump up her team, get some more energy from Hippos. They, really important defensive point here coming up, and great point from MK and Luo. Luo just with just so much energy. She's always been such a great defensive player, represented Canada a few times in the past, and a nice play by her just to give go and attack the line right away. And that's what Hippos needed. Definitely be a important defensive point for them.
So, turning around, Traffic now has fought their way back with 3 points in a row. Traffic is leading Fusion 5-4. The winner of that game will be playing against either Sixers. And I think, Joel, can you bring up who Sixers' opponent currently is? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're not playing until the next round, so they haven't. They're not playing that quarterfinal just yet. But the Sixers currently facing Luna. And, the winner of Traffic Fusion will face off against the winner of Sixers and Luna.
And the winner of this game will face off against the
winner
Iris Cora.
Iris Cora.
All right, so that pull out of bounds. G signals with the clapping hands over the head that she's going to bring it to the middle. Rumor has it that signal doesn't actually exist. We just all do it for fun. G now. Seen her air it out a lot this game. Instead, she swings to Nealon. G. Over to Stockbrugger. She has Fulton in the middle. Back to G. To Cantal. G with it on the brick mark. Cantal looking for options. Sticks with G. Fulton. Looks off. Cantal at that first slash across, but Cantal turning one cut into another. Makes it look like she's going to go back into the stack and then just breaks hard. And Fulton finds her for the goal.
Yeah, the Stella O-line just continuing to play so well.
So now 7-2 for Stella.
Yeah, Wynn has just been having such a great tournament, leading the Stella team in points. Such a rangy thrower with really good angles and edges on her throws, and never looks panicked with the disc. And then Cantal too. Like, Cantal's just been so fast out there and looks like just such a tough assignment for whoever's been guarding her.
Yeah. I'm curious if she's related to Cantal in Phoenix, who's also a speedster.
Good point. I would not be surprised. We see a lot of Ultimate seems to run within the family quite a bit. So we see usually on most teams, I think even actually on Stella, there's another set of sisters here. The Bedards, maybe.
Well, Stella, so far firmly in control of this game, is going to pull. Jaffrey has made some great defensive efforts so far. Her pull is going to land and roll to be parallel with the brick line. Or on the brick line, sorry. Wanderlich to number 37, Paige Muir. I think that's another rounding the corner traffic call. Muir agreeing. Looks like she's like, yeah, maybe I turned and dragged a bit. Jaffrey tapping in. Warnerlick goes up the line. She's looked off. Instead, 25, Esther Au follows her and puts it out in front of Amy Lowe and Jessie Bell, I'm sorry. What am I saying, Jessica? I should know better. But that pass leading them too far. So Bedard picking up.
Good pressure here.
Yep. High count. Bedard puts it up. That throw will not come back in bounds. So that's going to be right at the cone. Bedard, you see, kind of falling over and smiling, going, whoops. Didn't want that to execute that way.
Really nice defensive pressure from Hippos there. Just giving Bedard no options, forcing her to throw up a late stall huck. And now they're going to be right on the doorstep here.
So Au goes over to Luo. Now that pass to Madden Krasnick. Madden Krasnick was picked there, so that would have gone back. But unfortunately, it bounces off her hands, so the play results in a turnover. Jaffrey picking up. And number 28, Brittany Cook, sticking with her cuts there and is able to get open. Carrie Holst with the pressure on that run through D causes a drop. And Holst with a double happiness. She's going to be happy about that. Keeping her team in this. That was the first time she saw the field today.
Great individual effort there on defense and then offense just attacking the end zone right away. Nice throw into space, and Hippos comes away with an offensive hold to bring themselves to a score of 7-3. And definitely want to try to do something. Maybe defensively they need to find something a little bit different here. Try to find a way to throw Stella out of rhythm. Stella's just looked so smooth offensively, and Hippos has to find a way to disrupt that.
Turning around here. Traffic currently leads Fusion 6-5. Traffic starting on defense, Fusion starting on offense. So that game currently a tight sports match. And we'll just keep updating you when we can here, but we're definitely going to focus on the game on our VC Showcase field here more than anything. So Janelle Sawa with the pull. And offside called against the Hippos here. If you're not familiar with the offside call, let's talk about the defense first. So the pulling team going offside will get one warning. Each teams get one warning when they go offside. But now if Hippos were to go offside again while pulling, Stella would take the disc, not at the brick mark, but at the center mark of the field, so halfway down the field. Should Hippos go offside when they're receiving, now that they've had their warning, they'll be taking the disc from the reverse brick, which is the middle of their end zone. So onside there. And Nealon centers to G. And G looks for Scott, and Scott, with that one-handed grab, just bounces out of her hand. Zhu finds an undercut from Ewan. And we have this rounding the corner travel call. Ewan not seeming upset by it, agreeing to move backwards. I'm just worried. I'm kind of groaning because I'm just wondering, do we get another card? Like, I'm just a little bit confused about that card earlier and where this will lead. And foul call on the hand block there by Fulton.
Yeah, no contest. Yeah, kind of interesting. I wonder if Stella maybe had a discussion about that earlier. It seems sort of like a team effort to call those travels.
Yeah. So that flip leads to the turn. There's a little bit of contact, but since it didn't affect anything, there's no call by Hippos. G walking up to the disc, allowing the Stella offense to get set. Stella with the early cuts. Keenan. Over to Cantel. And Cantel looks like the contact or the foul, and there's a discussion between her and Lauren Law.
Yeah, I think Law is actually calling a foul on Cantel there. Cantel sort of stepping forward through the mark.
Stockbrugger puts it up high, but Nealon shuts the door to everybody. But her throw just a bit too far for G. So Janelle Savoie is going to jog it back. Or walk it back. Jog to it, walk it back.
Hippos with another chance to work it down the field and try to get a break here.
And Savoie putting that up. And Danny Proby in the area to bring it down. Number 92, Vivian Fulton, complaining that Proby pushed her out of the way or did something with her arm. The crowd does not like it. And that's one we've seen this week in both tournaments, Joel, where we're kind of in these windy, floaty conditions sometimes, seeing these high kind of population catches and then these calls.
Yeah.
So
4 players under the disc there. I mean, Fortin definitely looked like as she was trying to get up, something happened. But Proby caught it with 2 hands straight above her. And
yeah, hard to say from this angle, too.
Just discussing and perhaps going to the observer.
So observer ruling. Drum roll. No foul. So Proby will have the disc. Currently surrounded.
Hippos will now be about halfway.
Proby looking for the throw there. Knew right away she was going to take off right away. And as soon as Fulton called that travel, Proby gave a smile and said, yep, that was me. But Proby tries to give go. Fulton says, no, you had your foot up before you threw that. I mean, Stella just strict with these travel calls. So Proby flips it to Zhu and goes up the line and gets it right back. Now on the doorstep. Needs a reset. Elects to hammer. Oh, and off the hands of Savoie. And as she was going for the second effort, was bumped by Amelia Keenan and then calls a foul. Now, I'm unsure if Keenan sees it that way, but I believe that's what Savoie is arguing. And too hard to tell from here, from my perspective anyway, to determine if that was a foul or not. So we're going to have another rule discussion.
Yeah, didn't really get a good perspective on that one. I think the other Stella player who actually got the defensive play there is sort of explaining that she thought she was going to get it regardless of the contact that happened.
Yeah. It's always a tough one when there's contact and then to say, well, did you have a play? You know, and it's like often players on offense saying, well, I don't know if I did. You know, I was bumped. So a tough thing to have, a tough call to work out. So we often see in these situations that the disc is going to go back to the thrower. Proby will, if that's the case, Proby will have it back, and I imagine it will come in at stall 6. Does that look like a high stall count throw? No foul. Observer ruling, though, so this is a turnover. Now the players here have to tap the ground. So Janelle Savoie taps the ground, and we're live. Stockbrugger is going to pick up.
Great D by Siwa, getting in the way of that Win G huck, knocking it down to the ground.
Silva picks up. Backhand break around to Zhu. And she aired that out for number 10, Lauren Law. And as Law was coming down, it looked like the Stella defender was just trying to make a play after she bobbled it. And on her way down, Law got caught in the head. And she's going to take an injury sub. And with any contact in the head, that's a great idea.
Yeah, she bobbled the initial catch, and then as she was trying to adjust to catch the bobble, Stella player sort of coming through, and that's a unfortunate collision there.
Yeah, no foul call, though. It looked like she had already kind of bobbled it, and just Scott was just in that path of contact. So G picks up. Scott's gone off. Sparks has come on. Fulton wide open. Thinking about airing it out to Sparks. Keenan back to Fulton. Fulton with it back. She has Cantal in the middle. Cantal looking for the under. It's not there.
Looks like there's a foul on the mark.
Victoria Nealon was just streaking across, and that looked like it'd be a good dish, but I think Cantal was looking for the around the Stockbrugger and got bumped there. Yep. So Stockbrugger goes. Good poach D by Hippos there. And a high throw over everybody, and Fulton is there to collect. So that takes us to half. Stella leading 8-3. That's right on our cap mark. So half coming in at exactly 45 minutes. And Fusion in Traffic just played a marathon point. The score is now 6s. It looks like their half will be taking at 7. So Fusion in Traffic tied. Now at halftime, we're going to take a 3-4 minute break here, and we'll be right back with you. We're just going to stand up, stretch our legs, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Clayton Howlett here with Joel Bellevans bringing you our quarterfinal matchup between Ottawa's Stella and Vancouver's Sneaky House Hippos here on the VC Showcase Field at the Ivor Dent Sports Complex in Edmonton, Alberta at the 2019 Canadian Ultimate Championships. This quarterfinal matchup is the 5th seed Stella playing the 6th seed Hippos. The score is currently 8-3. Stella going up a quick 6-1 early in this game, and we've had these teams trade points since then. Just behind us is the Fusion Traffic quarterfinal. That game's currently tied at 6, and they'll be taking half at 7. This point before half that they're playing has been about 5 minutes now. So that's been a tight match, but we'll provide you updates as when we can turn around as we get underway in the second half here. Danny Proby with the big pull, fielded by Jaffrey. And Shippo's in his own look here. And that disc just bobbled out of the hands of number 8, Hogel. Proby now. Disc on the sideline. Proby looking for the reset. High stall count and doesn't have it and has to put it out to space. And unfortunately, that's just out of the reach of Lundstrom. Dagenet running the wide cut. She floats up a backhand to reset to Cook, who made a great play to bring that down. Number 8, Hogel now. Centers the disc to Green. Green puts it out to space. And after sailing over a few players, Stella still able to retain that. Hogel now. Finds Green in the middle. And Green's pass is too far away. Now, it's interesting here. Green called a foul, but Joel, from my perspective, that was one hell of an extra step.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. There may have been a bit of contact on the throw, but I think Danny's actually going to go to the observer here. Oh, never mind. Coming in on one.
Green is able to find Dagenet. 10 feet outside of the end zone here. Dagenet looks to reset to middle to number 28, Brittany Cook, but that throw too low and too far away. Perhaps the wind playing a factor in that one, as it has often with those throws. Tam picks up. And as Green poached in, Proby was left open. Proby puts that out to space to Lundstrom. Oh, and just out of her reach on that layout. So Bedard jogs back to pick it up. The observers do count down to the delay in those situations. Miller out leading Green. Green patient, takes a timeout.
Yeah, good timeout call by Green there. Multiple turnovers. Finally got it down into the Shippo end zone again, and good time to call a timeout and set things up. Definitely be nice if Stella definitely wanting to convert on this first point.
Yeah, and this will be a hold for Stella. Shippo starting this half on defense.
Yeah, Shippo's so close to getting a goal down there in the end zone. Just a little bit too far for Lundstrom. Not able to track that down.
So the clouds sort of breaking here. We're seeing some blue skies and some sunshine now. The wind is still holding about average of 10 kilometers an hour, pushing discs out of bounds, pushing them to the ground, sailing a bit too far, but not dictating the events at this tournament the way it did yesterday, especially in our 2:30 round. The rain was sideways. In the game behind us, Traffic has scored and taken half. It is now 7-6 Traffic, so their halftime has just started. So we see here G is going to have the disc. G has been one of the center handlers here for Stella. Stella setting up in a... Oh, I've never seen this. Stella setting up in a kind of side stack. And we've got one handler behind her on her right and one handler right on the cone on the left corner of the end zone. So I'm interested to see this. It is an ISO play, it looks like. So both first cuts not working out. When G is able to get it to Cook, who's just able to edge out her defender. And Cook puts that out to Jaffrey. And
there's a pick call somewhere in the stack. I think a disc is probably going to stay there.
But Bedard made a good effort there. She kind of went to the ground and had her arms out just in time to keep that disc alive.
Yeah, really nice catch.
So discussion. I've seen several of these games, but both teams have been fairly clear and amicable about working out these calls. It's just been sometimes taking a lengthy time just to make sure everything's done properly. But totally okay when both teams are able to have these conversations in a civil and spirited way. So that disc goes back. Perhaps Proby felt she was picked. I'm not quite sure. Right out of the stack, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one what happened.
Well, so the disc is back in Cook's hand. It's coming in on 4. Cook looking for Jaffrey. Jaffrey with the triple cut. Goal, Stella. The score, 9-3 for Ottawa.
Yeah, really nice move there from Jaffrey to get open on the open side, upline cut. And that's just something that you have to defend. It's really just, everyone always says, protect the open side, protect the cone, and sometimes you see defensive players get a little bit anxious. They're looking for that D on the bail throw, and that's when a smart offensive player can make the adjustment and quickly attack the line.
So Stella hold.
Yeah, really taking a commanding lead here, 9-3.
I'd just like to point out, as I made a note of earlier, we've been committed this week to try and offer better perspectives of the commentating, and we're hoping to have players that play in the women's divisions, whether it was juniors, masters, or adult, just be able to call these games for you. But the way the brackets shook down today, all players are either all those commentators are either playing or observing right now. So Joel and I pulling a little overtime here, but really happy to do it. Loving the commentating, watching these high-level teams play.
Yeah, we just had a question come in from Graham Barber. Correct me if I'm wrong, Clay, but I believe the contact rule is in effect here at CUC.
Yes, it is.
And obviously as spectators, it's hard to determine if the contact rule is actually being used out there, but if a player is basically fouled on the mark.
Whoa, airs it out for J-Bell. And Cantal, the speedster, is able to get in there and keep Bell from making that right turn to make a play on that disc.
Yeah, good effort from Jesse Bell trying to track it down as the disc was sort of moving over to the far side of the field. And once again, Win G picking up for Stella.
G has Fulton wide open deep. Blown coverage by Hippos there. Fulton reels that in. Good read. No count on her right now. She's got plenty of time. Lowe comes in to get that mark on. But by that time, Fulton pits it up to Sparks. Toes the line.
Wow.
What a catch.
Yeah, really, really awesome catch from Fortan too. Like quick adjustment to catch that huck, the short huck, and then sends it over to Kaylee Sparks. Kaylee Sparks, fantastic grab, going up high and then adjusting her toes to make sure she could keep them inbounds. And yeah, really nice play there from Stella. And Hippos just really hasn't been able to connect on their deep looks today. Just a little bit too far, a little bit too short. Haven't been able to find their offensive rhythm yet. And we know that this Hippos team has so many great players and athletes here that can definitely compete, and they just haven't really been able to find a groove yet. But Stella also showing that
G, Fulton, and Jaffrey making big plays this game for Stella.
Yeah, can't tell, always open, always fast. Yeah, lots of great performances from individuals on the Stella, and then as a unit too, just playing really great. And we saw them against Fusion earlier this week in their exciting Universe Point win against Fusion. Just ruthlessly efficient in the end zone. And it's sort of cool to see some of the different end zone offense looks that Stella's been using. So kudos to their coaching staff and the players for being able to execute on that, and then just being so efficient in the end zone.
Jaffrey's pull, taking advantage of the wind, catching that edge, landing just beyond the brick line. Wang picks up. And Hippos swinging around, but facing off against the zone here. Proby finds it in the middle. Back to Wang. Wang looking for options. Goes over the top to Muir. Little give-go action. Proby now. Has Au. To Wang. Traffic on the doorstep now. Au. Working the give-go with Wang. Not in. That first foot coming down. Oh, now Wang trying to take advantage of the face guard defense there and just put it past the defender into Au's hands, but the wind, as we've seen in these conditions, just lifts it up and makes it float long enough for Stella to be able to make a play on that. Berdard. To Hill. Hill to Hogel. Does not make that catch.
Yeah, short field opportunity for Hippos again. We'll see if they can really clean up their end zone offense. We've seen them just not be able to execute in this part of the field.
Wang. Finds number 9, Julia Zhu. Now there was some contact between Mir and her check, and I believe that was Isabel Bedard.
Yeah, Bedard, I believe, calling a foul.
Yeah, they work it out, though, I think, both saying, okay, there was some contact, but didn't really affect what was going on. Some high spirit there between Bedard and Mir saying, okay, here's what happened, but you know what? We're cool. Doesn't matter. Move on.
Yeah. Really nice play from Zhu and Wang there. Zhu attacking the open side really hard and then making a quick cut back to the break side, and then Wang able to fit a nice break throw in there for the goal. So an important goal for Hippos. Maybe one of their better offensive points here. They moved it up the field really well at that point, and hopefully we'll see their offense sort of settle into more consistent rhythm. But defensively, Hippos has a tall order here.
Yeah, we're 65 minutes into the window in this round, and we only have got 20 minutes left till cap. So for Hippos to stay alive, for sure they'll need 5 points in the next 20 minutes, 5 unanswered points in the next 20 minutes, which is a tough one. In our Fusion Traffic game happening behind us, Traffic has flipped the switch. The score is now 9-6 Traffic. 8-6 Traffic, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just scoring out of half here to take the lead 8-6. they'll be pulling sort of downwind here to Fusion.
So Hippos pull. Fielded by Nealon and flipped to G. Hippos with the zone look. G goes over the top, looking for full 10, but instead, Keenan to clean that up. Nealon puts it out in front of Sparks. And Sparks just dominating in the end zone today. And Stella showing no hesitation to go to Sparks, Joel.
Yeah, Sparks has just been such a great receiver for them throughout the tournament and really had a fantastic game against Fusion and just continuing the pace here. She's able to really identify the soft spots in the defense and attack open areas in the end zone. And yeah, her throwers are definitely sort of looking for her, and she's looking for the throwers as well.
You can see in the Shippo circle right now, Danny probably trying to look cute in front of her coach to get called on the line there. Few poses. Does it pay off? No, it does not. Take one, Proby. Instead, Tony Lee going on.
And overall, sort of the vibe here on the sidelines, the Stella players are feeling pretty comfortable and sort of joking around a bit on the sidelines. I think they're having such a great tournament and really in control of this game right now. And Hippos needs to find something to sort of give them a bit of energy and help them. We'll see if they can sort of put together another smooth offensive point and give their defense another chance here to start earning some breaks.
So pull by Jaffrey. Once again, taking advantage of that win. The disc comes down at about the brick line. Hippos making quick work at the zone. Mir now gets it punched through the cup to her. Stella immediately melts. Tam finding Al. Al goes for a pass to number 20, Brianne Wish, and that's off her hands, and it just sails out of bounds before anyone else can make a play. Jaffrey now centers it to Bedard. Around Stockberger, who finds Bedard up the line with a good cut. Elects not to huck it, though. Stockbrucker with a little juke. Instead, Jaffrey is there to collect. And Jaffrey airs that out. Oh, just too far for number 21, Hannah Lewis.
Yeah, just getting pushed down in the wind a little bit, throwing that with a bit of an IO edge. And because the wind is coming directly behind us towards that far sideline, it just got pushed down that edge a little bit.
So Hippos earlier had no problem getting through the zone. It looks like Stella resets it. Ow. Looking for options, looking for the pop. Instead goes around. Has Madden Kastnik. Mir now. High stall count. She puts it out deep, probably had no options there and just felt stall 8, stall 9, I'm getting rid of this. So Jaffrey's going to pick up. To Bedard. Bedard takes the around.
Nice catch there by 21, Lewis.
Lewis, yeah. Another good catch for a throw up in the air by Miller. And her throw, unfortunately, does not connect. Mir. There's Madden Krasnick. Oh, and off the hands of number 7, Tam. So Bedard slowing things down here as she walks up to the disc. You know, that's an interesting one, Joel. We've seen Stella make use of that kind of middle-in-the-middle wide play. And Bedard there just elected to throw to the strike cut, but Stella looking like they got a little too into a routine there. Wish. As Tam gets up early to seal that. Wish. And a pick called when it did not affect, so Wish will keep the disc. Jaffrey's in the area. Yeah. She'll be able to set a mark.
Bedard just wanting to catch up to Zoo there.
Oh, and Wish is going to air it out to Zhu there, but Bedard in the area to break that up. Sort of a tight throw.
Yeah, second turnover from Hippos up in this end zone.
Bedard finds Jaffrey. And Miller is wide open. But as we've seen in this wind, those throws, I mean, he catches that edge and the wind just pushes it right down. Ow. To Wish. Oh, Tony Lee wanted that. Lee's going to get another shot here. And that throw just out of her reach.
Zoo a little frustrated here, just not able to get that throw in the right spot on the field. But good luck to an open receiver.
So Jaffrey picking up, calls a timeout. Probably just catch some breath here, eh, Joel? It's been a long point.
Yeah, long point, and only about 12 minutes away from cap. Stella just electing to take a breather. And
just behind us here, Fusion goal. That score is now 10-7 for Traffic. Traffic rifled off a few breaks out of half there, but Fusion staying alive. So Traffic leads 3 points, but as you just said, that cap is coming up quick. So Fusion's going to have to score a few points here rather quickly to have a shot at beating Traffic right now.
Yeah, and likewise, we really need Hippos is going to have to score this offensive hold to bring the game within 5, and then tall order. It'll be 10-5. They'll have to get a lot of breaks, but
11-5.
Right, but not out of it just yet.
So our next broadcast today will be at 10 after 2. We'll be taking a break here. And at 10 after 2, it will be the Open Masters Final. And that will be immediately followed by the Women's Masters Final. And you can always go on the CUC 2019 website to get live score updates, as our scorekeepers have been provided with iPads that they can immediately update on the go, and that goes directly to the website. So if you're wondering about scores, check out the tournament website, and the live schedule and results will be popping up in those semifinal matches from our women's and men's divisions. Or open division, I should say. Sorry. So Cook to Miller. And Miller puts that over the top. And number 9, Julia Law with the definitive D. Tam now. And she does a little give-go action with Zhu and makes the grab, having to fall over top there to secure that. So now we're at 11-5.
Yeah, 11-5. Nice D from Julia Zhu, and she took an extra second on that upline throw, just making sure that she was going to put it in a nice spot for her receiver, and a really nice layout catch there.
We're now 10 minutes from the cap. Just behind us, goal Fusion. That is now 10-8. For Traffic.
And this is the time for Hippos here.
Yeah, now or never, I would say, with 10 minutes left.
Definitely. And Stella putting out that same O-line they've been using this whole tournament that they've had so much success with. Familiar names, G, Cantel, Sparks.
So Hippos pull is going to land out of bounds. Catching that wind on that OI edge. So G will center the disc. She's being covered by Lundstrom. She finds the speedy Cantal in the middle. And there's a little bit of a discussion with her and her check about the contact after that catch or during. It's number 10, Lauren Law on Cantal. So no call. Discussion just figured that out. So Cantal will have the disc on stall 0, I believe. Yep. So Cantal goes back to G. Cutters are deep for Stella, but Lisa Hogle turning on the jets there to give G an option. Coming in on 3. Hoggle. G with a little stutter to get it up the line. And she goes up and over to number 33, Emily Scott. Goal, Stella. The score, 12-5. Stella making sure that, the Hippos aren't going away. They're getting their points. But Stella responding and making sure that they're keeping this seemingly out of reach for the Hippos right now.
Yeah, that Stella offensive unit just playing so well. And Hippos struggling to find a way to sort of shut down anything or really disrupt their flow. So kudos to Stella for playing another clean game and a great tournament so far. They'll be facing off against the winner of the Iris quarterfinal, Iris and Cora.
Cora, yep. Yeah, Iris and Cora.
Should be an exciting semifinal matchup.
Score behind us is currently 11-8 for traffic. All right, so Jaffrey, whose polls have been on point today, sails that one towards us, takes advantage of the wind. Landing in the center of the field, Stella setting up with I like this, a straight-up zone look. We saw a lot of that out of our Ontario teams in the junior division this week, and it proved to be extra effective, as most teams are not used to it. Wow. Huge grab.
Amazing kick.
Number 2, Jasmine Chan. And as she was hitting the ground, I think the ground knocked out of her hand.
Yeah, it looked like a completed layout catch there, but I guess she must have lost control and just stood up without the disc.
Berdard to Lewis. And she tries to do the big over-the-top backhand to Jaffrey there, and the wind catching that. Jaffrey not exactly sure where it was. So Al picks it up. She finds Mir. Mir back to Al. Goes over her head. Too far to make the second effort. Jaffrey runs that back up to the line. Stella kind of clumped up in the middle here. So Jaffrey not with any options yet. Puts it up. And Ing had the good read there, but then pops it over Hill. For Hippos now. Doesn't like the deep look. Asking for an under. Has Tam. Tam.
Nice pickup by Zoo.
And Zoo going for the IO flick to Chan, but the wind just carries that away from Chan quite quickly. Stockbarger picks up. She hits Dagenet. Dagenet looking for Jaffrey. Jaffrey faking the back cut, instead remains up line and unleashes a big backhand. And that floats over everybody on Hippos. And was caught and thrown to Hill. I'm sorry, Hannah Lewis. Might have said Hill earlier. Hannah Lewis for the goal.
Yeah, nice throw by Jaffrey. And wow, I mean, really the story of the game here, the Hippos just really not converting on their end zone opportunities. We saw them get so close to the end zone so many times, and just some unfortunate miscues and drops in the end zone. And Stella able to take advantage of those turnovers and score their breaks to really put this game out of reach.
Yeah, Cap is imminent. It's on my clock. I've got 53. Cap should come on at 55. Traffic Fusion. The score is 11-9. I believe Traffic called a timeout to eat up some clock here. And Fusion is going to be starting on D. So Fusion has to get a defensive play and score immediately before that horn comes on, or that game will end.
Yeah, we've seen coaches and captains really utilize those timeout calls near the end of the game, sort of forcing it to get closer to the hard cap.
Yeah.
Especially when they're in a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, a lot of strategy. So G's Pole's pretty deep. It's moved up to Sawa.
Pick call.
Yeah. So Sawa will probably hit Proby. Oh, no. My bad. Still not on the board. Can't predict anything. Instead, she airs that out to Whoa, who has the Jets today. It's Wang. Wang out in front of Siwa, sorry. Wang with the juke, gets it back. And she goes around to Luo, who makes an athletic play there with a high awareness to make sure she keeps her feet in on that catch. So goal, Hippos.
Yeah, nice around throw by Wang and good adjustment by Amy to get her toes down in the end zone. That's going to bring us to 13-6.
And there goes the horn. So we're in cap, which means that this next point will be played out. But at 13-6 and the horn going, the game, the result is final now. So Stella will get the win and move on to play the winner of the Iris and Cora game. While behind me, but I'm sorry, Winnipeg fans, but with that cap going on, the Fusion and Traffic game is still at 11-9. So they will finish this point, and even if Fusion scores, the final will be 11-10. If Traffic scores, the final will be 12-9. And Traffic will move on to face the winner of Sixers and I forgot already.
Cora. Sixers Cora are playing.
Oh, is it Sixers Cora? Who's ours playing?
Oh, maybe that was Iris Cora. Sorry about that. We'll have to double check. Yeah. But that game will be played in the next time slot, and if it goes according to seed, Traffic will be playing against Sixers in the semifinal. That will be happening at the same time as the Open Masters final, and
Bernard airs that out. Stella brings it down, and that's off the hands of Stockbrugger. And she knows that wasn't for her, apologizing to her thrower. So Madden Krasnick picks up, has Holst, who goes for it. Oh, what a catch. Number 77, Talia Cole.
Great hands there by Cole.
She's able to put it out in front of Tony Lee, and it's ruled a goal. Lee gets on the board. This game ends 13-7 for Stella. We'll stay with you for just a second here, just to call out the result of this Traffic Fusion game. Traffic has it on the goal line. Catherine Huey with the disc just outside of the end zone. Clock now to Rockcliffe, and that'll do it. So Traffic beats Fusion 12-9, and they will move on. So our broadcasts for the rest of the day. Your Open Masters Final, which will be brought to you by Discraft, will be beginning at 10 after 2 today, so tune in for that on this stream. And following that will be your Women's Masters Final, brought to you by VC. During those games, we will do our best to have someone updating scores, but please do not forget that you can always pop on to the Canadian Ultimate Championship website, and thanks to technology, our scorekeepers are able to do live updates of scores, so you can track what's going on. I can say that one of the women's semifinals will be adjacent to the Open Masters Final, so our commentators for that, whoever it may be, will be able to provide updates much like we did with the Fusion Traffic game during this time slot. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in later. Any closing thoughts, Joel?
No, yeah, just such a great day of Ultimate. Congratulations to all the teams who are competing and the teams that are moving on to the semifinals. And as spectators and fans, we're looking forward to these next couple games here and have some really exciting semifinal matchups to watch.
All right, we'll be with you soon. So, bye now.